The following program is for mature audiences only. The views expressed by the people and other guests on the podcast are their opinions and their own and don't reflect the institutions or establishments that they work for. So please do not get our asses fired or canceled. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's going on, Glad Gang? It's Jay Whitaker. It's been a minute, and I kind of owe you an apology, but I kind of don't, but I kind of do. I went on a minor hiatus, get my mind right. Nothing's wrong, just needed a break. But I still need to put out content. And this, that's important. You know what I mean? It's important for me to still give y'all a message for those that are listening to it. People were hitting me up like, where the podcast? And I'm like, it's coming. I'm sorry. And actually, I did record a great episode with comedian Shauna Christmas, but the audio and video is way out of sync. And so we're just going to redo the episode with her. I've got some great guests coming. Like, seriously, I'm really proud of the guests that are coming on this show. So I appreciate anybody and everybody that listens to the show. I appreciate the likes, the reviews, the subscribes, all that stuff. It really does help our numbers. And y'all kept us afloat. There were people listening while I hadn't put an episode out for weeks. And I appreciate y'all should all be caught up now. I'm looking at the metrics. Y'all should be caught up now. Y'all should be ready for another episode. Okay? And so just the fact, on a serious note, I do appreciate everybody rocking with me. We got Thanksgiving coming up. I got shows coming up. I'm going to be rocking with my buddy Doug Key. He was on the episode. I'm going to be rocking with him this weekend. He's taping his comedy special. I want to get him back on the episode because I do want to know how it went for him. I do want to talk to another. I'm going to be talking to another comedians that have recently put out their own comedy specials. I love to see so many comics taking control of what is theirs and putting out their own content. I love to see it. And today's guest is a perfect example of that. Shout out to my brother, Brandon. Y'all heard him on the show before. We're going to get him back on plenty because I know that people are like, yo, when's your brother come back on? We're going to get him back on. Trust me. We're getting his mic set up and everything. This dude, my brother put me onto this cat about 4 years ago. Dude is hilarious. You're gonna love him, and he drops so much game. He's big on social media, but he drops so much game. If you are a comedian, if you are a content creator, if you're an artist, you know, and you're just looking, and if you want to help understand Instagram and how content creation works and monetization, this is a great episode for you to check out. So without further ado, I'm going to skip like the gratitude. Let's just get right to it. This is a lengthy episode. This is a long one, but there's a lot of gems in this. Try to keep up. Do us a favor, like and subscribe, support the Patreon. We got a lot of great episodes in the tank and they are coming. So I appreciate everybody that's rocking to me. Without further ado, let's get to our guest, Canice 100K. Please do enjoy. Welcome. What's up, Glad Gang? This is your boy, Jay Whitaker. I am finally back from hiatus, and I have a great guest. This brother I've been talking to, I've known him for about 4 years. We got introduced by my brother, and like I finally got him. Our schedules matched up. Our Wi-Fi is connected. Our headphones is working. This man has been on Hulu, MTV, Sway in the Morning, CBS Sports Radio, and is a writer for CW and KPRC networks. He is awarded as one of the funniest comedians in South Texas. Stand-up comedian, actor, social media personality, television writer, voiceover artist, and the proud host, and I love this, the proud host of the Black Pop Quiz that got me through the pandemic. My man, Canice 100K is in the house. Let's go. How we doing,
I'm
sir?
out here, man. I appreciate that, man. I don't know where you found that bio at, but you did the research, man. I'm humble. I didn't know I did all that stuff, man.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. How are you, man?
Man, I'm feeling good. It's a rainy day in Houston or whatnot, which means sun is right over the the horizon. So it is what it is. I'm excited to be here, brother.
Man, I have to say, so for those who are, if you're wondering, and see, I did recently, my man just dropped a special on YouTube through Funny Media Group, correct? Yes, and we're going to talk about that. And if you listen to Geek Show podcast, I was promoting that, him and some other folks that just had some specials released. So make sure you go check that out for him. I will tell you right now, this man was introduced to me by my brother, who you've heard on the show before. I couldn't get him on today, but we were trying to figure out how we known each other. And this man, I'm telling you, if you're not on his Instagram, you're missing out. You're missing out.
I appreciate it. My goal in life, like especially with social media, is to like really provide so much chaos. We need chaos more. And so I'm like, yo, who's gonna be the Joker? You remember when the Joker, he said, man, he told that one villain at the beginning where he was about to burn the pile of money. It was like, bro, we need more villains who are just villains to be villains, like, for the balance of society, bro. And I'm like, I need to be the chaos master.
Yeah.
I need to be the chaos bender on these platforms or whatnot. So yeah, man, it's been a fun ride.
I have to admit, it's like, and I'm glad that we're talking about how you politely choose violence, as I would like to call it.
Yep.
I think because like you're not out there to make people like physically get into fisticuffs but like your comedy is to cause controversy and chaos and nobody it's fair. It's equal opportunity. Anybody can get it. Anybody.
Yes.
Especially deltas. I don't
listen. And the craziest thing about that is that they are my number one fans. Like if I'm doing something, bro, the first thing they're gonna do is buy tickets, buy the merch. But like they've been bought these. I got my little shirt on that says "No more questions."
No further
questions. One of my catchphrases on my for a character I made called Marquise X that does his own renditions and rants of a news report of what's happening in pop culture or whatnot or trending topics. So, but they're the first people, Delta Sigma Theta, those members, they have grew with me. They follow me since, I made my first video about them. And for some reason, they stuck with me. They are huge fans of mine. First fans. Tickets, merch, it don't matter what it is. They're going to show up and they're going to show out all the time. And shout out to Delta Sigma Theta, by the way. So, yeah.
I love it. And I mean, like, what I enjoy about that, and personally, this is where I definitely want to give you your flowers. I mean, I joined the military, so I completely missed the HBCU experience. You know what I mean? And so my brother went to Howard, and so I kind of get that from him. I get the sprinklings from him.
He went to Howard.
Yeah, my father is Alpha. My brother's Alpha.
Yeah.
So I get the sprinklings and that experience from them. I'll never get it for myself, but I just love that you continuously are pushing HBCU culture forward. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's so funny too, because we talk about one of my things is, I always say, since we're on schedule, let's get disrespectful. And I just go completely in, start roasting something, whatever the topic is, right? It's crazy as disrespectful as I've gotten. It's made people grow and love me. And like you said, it's impacted the culture, even in a big way. I remember I was on the show somewhere, and right before the show, like, look, I'm humble. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm doing the show on ATL. I'll never forget. This girl walks. I'm at the bar because, it's so weird. Like, we don't think we're superstars, but we are. Like, the reason why, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy. Like, because I say a fan is somebody that knew you. A fan is somebody that knew you through your work, not in elementary or whatever. They knew you through your talent. Like, that's how they met you. And so, literally, it's so crazy how we don't fully. I don't know if it's a humble thing or if it's like, yo, we're just genuinely shocked that people really fuck with me. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, you say what you speak freely, though.
I'll be like, people really fuck with me. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So I'm at the bar before the show I did out in Atlanta, right? This girl walks over, she says, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" I said, "Sure, let's take a picture." You know what I'm saying? And so after we took the picture, she leans over and says, "Yo, do you know that when I was online years ago, they told me you never want to be the person who gets on his page. If your picture is on his page,
it's a wrap.
You fucked up." And she said that's what her chapter in her organization told her as she was pledging, and which like my name was on the wall. Don't get on this nigga's page. You know what I'm saying? Because if y'all like literally while they were pledging their organization, it was like we got to get this correct. Because when it comes time for y'all probate or a step show, if y'all fuck up and it goes viral, y'all gonna be on this nigga page, and this nigga gonna roast you for the rest of your life. And I was like, yo, but it's even though that was a thing. So she was like, man, I love you. I've been. She named the first video she seen by me, which was years ago, saying something that I forgot I said. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up here like, yo, I really affected the culture, like you said or whatnot. And yeah, man, I'm low key. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I think what makes you so accessible and so humorous, and it's just like you're just not for Black audiences. Like let me be first to anybody that's like, he's targeting this particular market. No, he's just like, no, this is just the people that happen to rock with him. But I think what makes you so accessible is just like, and what makes your videos so entertaining is you have to keep up in this day and era of social media content. You have a great way of giving people a hook right off the bat. Everything is rapid fire. So you have to watch the video at least 2 or 3 times because it's like sometimes some of your sketches on IG, it's like 2008 Lil Wayne. It's like he's saying so much where like it's the Drought 3 Lil Wayne where he's so much is coming at you. You got to replay that again because you like, did he just say what I thought he said? You know what I'm saying? And like, I love that about your comedy because I'm a slow burn. I start slow and then we work up because I have to trust the audience first before I'm willing to share. And like, you are fuck y'all. Like, here it is. This is it. And so I admire that. And that's the thing is comics. I love to watch comics that are different than me and their style and their delivery. And so that's why when I see you, when I see your sketches and then watch your set, I'm like, he's going right at them. I'm like, I need to get better at that. And so it's just like, and because me, I'm more of a storyteller, slow burn, and then we'll get into it. You know what I mean? And like, sometimes I like watching that. I like watching you do that. So yeah, props, man.
That's so, I appreciate that. And that's so crazy you say it, right? Because I watch storytellers and I'll be like, I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's even to the point where my brother, who I really, take everything from him when it comes to like, his critiques and stuff like that. I consider everything he says. But when we're speaking, sometimes he's like, okay, when we take this to another platform, I want you to make this longer. So either slow down or you're going to have to put way more into it. And I was like, I have no problem doing either. But I know when it comes to storytelling, right? When it comes to storytelling, giving these new stories and giving how I truly feel about something, I'm going to take my time with it. I got plenty of punches, but let's take some time. So one video I did that with was the Aries Spears video.
Yes, so I remember that.
Which is so crazy because I have this thing where I'm like, I never want to talk about a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
But you went in. My thing. You went in.
Yeah, but when you're the number one story and you did some BS and you kind of been antagonizing people, I'm like, all right, I got to get at you. If you notice, that's also why I did. But think about it. That's why I didn't go at it against Tiffany Ash. You see what I'm saying? Because I was like, she wasn't a super huge, big blown asshole, what people say. But Aries at the time, it was like so many things was happening. He went at Lizzo. Lizzo's from Texas. Hey, yo, man, we gonna defend our people. You get what I'm saying? So it was so much that was going on. So that's the only reason why. But back to it, I got an opportunity to make it, a ride, a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I got time to, take it up and then boom, and then slow it back down, take them. I got an opportunity. It's so crazy how you bring that up too, because you really peeped that about my style or whatnot. I am a little bit fast paced, and I do like to do rapid fire. I'm going to come at you with punch after punch after punch, because that's what I used to say. One of my superpowers is, okay, I may not know how to write the funniest joke, but I could put a combination together. And so I've always been a volume writer. I'll write, I always used to say, I'm 1 for 10. If I write 10 jokes, that means 1 is golden, maybe 2 I could work on, but 1 is golden. So I would write, like, say when I'm doing a video about Alpha Phi Alpha, or I'm doing a video about Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whatever is the newest story going on, right? I'll probably put 8 to maybe 12, even sometimes 16 punchlines in a 60-second clip, right?
Which is insane.
And so, but that's also how many punches. Imagine the punches that didn't make it.
Yeah,
it didn't work. You get what I'm saying? So, and then sometimes I just have so much that I'm like, I'll make a part 2. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so it's like, so that's really where it goes. So it's really I just volume write. That's why sometimes it takes me a long time to put out a video, because it'll take me a week or a couple of days or whatever, because I want to make sure I get out every single thing, flesh out my ideas, and know which way I'm going. Because chaos is still organized. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's still organized. So I want to make sure. And you said it's like, oh, hey, Lil Wayne, because you got to go back and listen to it a couple of times. I do that on purpose. That's a technique, because I've been on social media for a while, right? And I've been putting out content. One thing I noticed, the best videos have replay value. So some things I say to steal another play. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'll put a callback in there just for you to be like, oh, I know you didn't say it. And then you go back and then you do it. You listen to it again and
helps
you enjoy
your views,
it.
helps your numbers.
Absolutely. And also sometimes monetization. Then you go and share it, and then somebody sees it, they're like, oh. And the reason why I try to, every video, my brother hates when I do this, but it's my technique. He's a filmmaker, right?
Okay.
So he likes, of course, let's build it in, let's get it done. I'm like, this is social media though. You get straight into it as soon as you turn it on. Every time it's either a big punchline or it is, I'm telling you the exact headline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Joe Biden fell off a bike today. You know what I'm saying? Or you get what I'm saying? I'll literally say that and get straight into it, or it's a punchline that literally brings you in. Because I used to write people's, especially my brothers, I used to write his speeches in college, people's speeches in college, right? And so one thing, I hated writing. But when you told me the format, it was over. And one thing I always held, and I still do, is that first 2 lines, it has to be the attention grabber. So that's what I'm always doing. I'm sorry, we talking shop now. This is the meat and potatoes for me, bro. It's because it's just like
I love seeing how comics approach it, because like I'm not a volume writer. Like, and I wish I was. There was a time earlier in my career where I was more of a volume writer, and I'm just more of like I put myself in situations I probably shouldn't be in, or I'd be awkward to be in, and then I just write about it. Like, it's just like, it's a recap.
Yes. And that's something I'm trying to get stronger at, right? Because this whole journey of stand-up comedy and art, period, you're supposed to turn into the actual artist or performer, entertainer you actually want to listen to, or like, I think about my favorite comedians and I ask myself, who am I? Eddie Murphy, of course. Come on. Yeah, and then there's Chris Rock, of course. I could literally, I got, all time, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Dane Cook.
Come on.
Dane Cook.
Very rapid fire as well.
But I love his storytelling.
Yes.
And his characters. Oh, man. Kevin Hart, before the last 5 specials. I love you, Kev, but before the last 5, it wasn't hitting you know what I'm saying, that first run of 4, I think it was.
Yep.
I'm talking about heat. I'm talking about major heat. So him, Eddie Murphy, of course, is number one. Chris Rock, Dane Cook, Kevin Hart. This is crazy. I got two, not because they're my favorite, just because they had one special that was so fucking good. I was like, they're in my top 10 forever. George Lopez with Why You Crying. That special was so fucking good. And also, I like huge comedians. I like big comedians, right? And then the last one, this special was Cat Williams has one of the funniest specials of all time. Like, literal funny. Like, it was just laughs the whole time. And I'm talking about big roaring laughs with Pimp Chronicles.
Pimp Chronicles,
I was in college at the time. I wasn't even into stand-up comedy. And it took the impact of that special took over my everybody was saying, never in the history of niggerdom. You know what I'm saying? And this is called death, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, they were always quoting it. And I'm like, where's this coming from? And I watched it. I'm like, yo, this is the funniest guy ever. You know what I'm saying? And so, what I'm saying, so I look at some of my favorites, right? And all of them have, like, you know, similarities for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a distinct way they observe things, or they're storytellers and characters. Like, they know how to do character comedy. So it's either a particular way they observe things, but also, like, they mix in, you know, a character in there, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. And so now, I know this is going a little far.
Oh, keep
going. Now, my favorite comedians, like, that I just enjoy to, like, laugh or whatever, because I'm still a fan of comedy, is Ryan Davis.
Yes. Future.
I feel like, yeah, right? I feel like when it comes to what he does and what I've been doing, I'm like, okay, I'm there. You get what I'm saying? But I love it because in my head, I'm like, what he's doing, he's going to keep me, you know, and he don't even know me, but what he's doing, he's going to keep me sharp because I'm always looking like, oh, I see what you did there. Because I was doing this over here, right? I was doing this over here with Marquis Six news reports, and then he comes giving out his takes, and you could go through our comments, especially if it's something serious, like a serious topic, like the passing of Nipsey, Kobe, or it was something about politics or something we really, like, people couldn't wrap our heads around. You go to the videos we put out, and all you'll see underneath is genius, comedic excellence. And so, and
the same people that are commenting on his stuff are also follow you.
Bingo.
That I have noticed.
Bingo. And so that's why I'm like, yo, I truly enjoy him. Or whatever. I'm not a hater. I love, like, I'm like, yo, that's going to be, I was like, it's going to be, you know, I always say it like this. If he's the Dave Chappelle, then I might be The Rock. You get what I'm saying? There's no way. So, but even in squash all that, then favorite comedians now, Vanessa Fraction, Ryan Davis. I love Vanessa Fraction. She is just a showman. Like, and I'm like, that's how you perform it. That's how you perform comedy. Trevor Noah has been on my list for the longest. Like,
how could he not?
He's like, he is. If I'm being honest, he's in my top 5 now. You know how you got your first top 5 and you try to just keep him. Nah, Trevor Noah has been killing it. He's in my top 5, and I mean, like, all time. I thoroughly enjoy him. Great storyteller. Great. He comes at. I see comedy, right? Like, okay, you know this about storytelling.
Yeah.
Sometimes, even if you're not an observational humor type person, you know about coming at a different angle. And that doesn't mean am I for it or not. It could just mean something that is different. Literally, it's just a different take, a different point of view. And it's a small little angle. Because if comedy is like boxing, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's still a punch, right? If comedy is like, it's those small angles that you can get, you know, maybe like in this person's blind spot where they won't see the punch coming. Because that's all a knockout punch is. It's not just power and speed. It's also a punch that they didn't see.
Right.
And
but I think what you and Trevor and a lot of good comedians, I mean, that are able to dissect and look at the both sides, or not even both sides, but just all sides. It requires a lot of empathy, and I think that's something that not a lot of comedians have, or not a lot of people have. And for me, the way I see it, from when I look at how you approach things, I'm like, this dude has a lot of empathy, because it takes empathy to look at it from all sides and find those different angles. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I feel like you just been doing.
I respect that.
Yeah, no, I think you've been doing just wonderful things, man, and it's just fun. It's just fun to see you just doing what you've been doing. Like, it really is. So, switching gears real quick. Tell us how we got to the Black Pop quiz, because that's always fun. That's fun.
The same way I'm a volume punchline writer, right?
Yeah.
I'm also a volume idea record. Like, I'll write a whole bunch of ideas. So I was like, we grew up on, like, we grew up at a time where TV was everything. Now it's social media, streaming, things like that. Like, but I remember when TV was still the thing. I was part of that last era where TV was a thing. And so you see things like 106 in Park. I was always like, damn, I want to host a music video show like that, right? Yeah. You see things like Family Feud, the Jeopardies, the Wheel of Fortune, the Price is Right. You see, and I'd be like, I could host a game show, right? Yeah. And then, and I was like, if I was doing a game show, what would it be? Oh man, it'll probably be about Black culture, or it'll be about, because I do random stuff with my little brother. Me and my little brother will just be randomly sit down. He'd be like, name 10 Eddie Murphy movies right now. Go fast. And we be like, oh, wow. this. It'll just be random. It's stupid shit. So it was like, we sitting in quarantine. We got this time, and I remember I was telling two of my friends in LA and three of my friends in LA or whatever that, hey yo, this is the greatest time, because every time a disaster happens, it's always an opportunity for performers and entertainers, whatever.
It's an opportunity for connection, absolutely.
Because we're their entertainment. We are a part of. So, like, I remember when Hurricane Harvey hit Houston in 2017. Man, of course we had to do things, get ready. Our lights was off here and there, but my phone was still on, and I got to go in my car and charge it or whatever, use the light. I was making videos. I was still doing my Marquis X news reports about Hurricane Harvey. And there were people like, oh man, you got me through this hurricane. I was sad, and this uplifted my spirit and stuff like that. And I got a whole bunch of followers with that, because I was talking about everything from Joel Osteen locking people out the church and Mattress Mac opening up his furniture store for people to lay down in his beds. I was discussing it all, and we're a part, and I was doing it in a humorous way. We're a part of their escape from BS.
Absolutely.
So I saw quarantine as an opportunity. Hey, yo, look, this is an opportunity to build our strongest fan base. So do everything. Any idea you had, if you could do it, just do it now. So I wrote so many ideas. I probably wrote like 50 ideas, right? Because TikTok just started blowing up. And I said, where am I going to find my space on TikTok? I'm posting some of my old videos, seeing how well they go. But I was like, hey, yo, I'm going to just try all of these things. And it was like 50 ideas I had. I wrote down. Black Pop Quiz was the 7th.
Really?
Yeah. So I just, because my thing was throw things at the wall and see how they stick. Mm-hmm. And I remember I posted it. I don't even know if I wanted to call it Black Pop Quiz, but I went with it. I messed up when I was recording it. I was like, Pop Quiz, you know what it is. I was like, why did I say that? But anyway, I think it was supposed to be called like Photo Culture or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just said that, whatever, it stuck. Literally, I posted it and turned the app off, went about my business, got back on the app later on. It had like hundreds of thousands of views.
Yes.
And it had so many people play the game, giving all the answers in the comments. And literally, when I say playing the game, like they went and did the duet, or whatever was side by side, answering the question. I'm sitting here like, yo, I just hit a gold mine. And because I still had a bank full of questions, because I don't just get one idea, I got plenty. So I had a bank full of questions. I was like, let me make another one. That one does, I think, the part 2 does like 1 million views. I was like,
I remember these too.
I was like, I'm never stopping. And it got crazy because even celebrities were doing it. Like, I'm talking about it all the way up until a point where, remember when Mon Shumpert won Dancing with the Stars?
Yes.
He did it last year for Thanksgiving with me over the air, over a radio interview. New Edition posted it. What's that girl's name? That actress. She was in. Her name is Mona Swain or something like that. She's posting it. It was like everybody was like, I want to be involved in this. And then like these television networks and movie festivals. I was like, oh, this is a thing.
Yeah,
so
it's
I was
a
like,
thing.
I can't stop. And so, but sometimes also that changed the trajectory of my career as well. That changed the trajectory.
Should have.
Yeah, it shot up to like 300,000 followers. I think the first year it shot up to like 100 something, right? And it was moving quick. Boom, 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 boom. And, and then TikTok started paying. TikTok started paying me before Instagram did.
Okay.
Before YouTube, before Facebook, which was wild to me because I'm like, of all the apps that showed me love for all the work I've been putting on here, this is the one. I was like, well, then this is it. So we kept going, and then it's like people were trying to book me to do a pop quiz game on their during their holiday Zoom party.
Yeah.
During their I did one for shout out to SG Rose. They just did the Centennial. Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I did one of their conferences. I think their Eastern Conference. I did their big, area conference online. I did. It was so many, and they'll literally just say, "Yeah, we just want you to do 10 minutes of questions. Could you make it about our company or something like that?" And I'll do it and they will pay. I was
they will.
I was like, yo, and then
corporate money's great.
Listen to me, and because you know why? Because they don't haggle. You literally just name your price, and and here go the thing: it's either yes or the no, or it's like, well, we could do this. Can you take that? And I'll be like, what? They pay you beforehand. They send it out. They make sure you're good.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. And
they spend money on water coolers and vending machines. They spend thousands of dollars on that.
And they were, I remember because of that, like, the only time I used to get paid like that or whatever is like, for the most part, within the Nigerian community when I did, weddings or within doing colleges every now and then when I would perform at colleges. That's how they would pay. But with Black Pop Quiz, that solidified me as like, yo, you get paid like this all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and it grew my base because I also
know your worth and add tax, my brother.
Absolutely. It grew my base. People started like saying, hey, yo, could you just make a promo for us within the Black Pop Quiz game show that you just put out there? Just make a shout out for us. And I was like, yeah, let's get it. Or can you wear this shirt or whatever while you do such? And they just kept paying. I was like, yo, this is getting. And the craziest part is that sometimes I will be running out of time, and also, personal life and things like that. So I couldn't pump out videos as much as possible. But then when I came back with like 20 more. I probably did a little over 80, 90 pop quiz videos in total, or whatever, within that stint of time or whatever. And the craziest part is I still got like maybe 75 episodes I haven't touched yet or whatever that I could just easily get done.
Anytime you're feeling like it, just go and put it up.
Bro, exactly.
That's great, though. It's evergreen. That's evergreen.
And that's the thing. Look, we're going to talk about social media a lot. Okay? Like, look, I'm big. I love it. I love it because, like, it's one of my other strategies. I say I steal a couple views by always, like, hitting hard and being rapid within that little amount of time. Another thing I do another strategy I do is when it's evergreen, right? But here's the crazy part. I don't always have to talk about just Black things.
Of course.
It could just be things that all people do, but I call it the Black Pop Quiz, right?
Yes.
And here's
that is one thing I did notice, because it's like, if you listening, you're like, well, this ain't for me. Yes, it is.
Exactly. I have one of my biggest fans. He's done every black pop quiz. White dude. His name is Panda something on TikTok. He does every single one, and he knows all of them because, also he's from the South, right?
Yeah.
So so we all kind of grew up, the same in the South, outside of, the racism. But he was like, yo, like he'd be like, yeah, I know this. Oh, I know this. And that's the thing. That's the thing. And I do that stuff on purpose, like, because one thing I love to do is I do that on purpose. So somebody will be like, that's not black, because I know it. And I'm not black. I'm white.
Right.
And well, this ain't really black stuff. And I love that because you're still keeping me paid. You're still giving me engagement. So I just stole more engagement by you by doing every single time, because every little bit counts. You know what I'm saying?
This is a master class, though.
Even if it's controversial, let them do it. I don't even argue with people in my comments. Let them argue.
Yeah. Let them argue. Let them argue yourself. That's my favorite thing to do, is just put and I used to do this and see, like I said, this is why I appreciate you so much, is because I do comedy less now and more military stuff as I'm rounding out. I'm towards the end of my career. Well, I still got some more time, but like,
Jay, how long you been doing it? How long?
Almost. Which one? Military or comedy?
Comedy.
Comedy. I've been doing 11 years.
Okay.
A little over 11 years.
Same here. I'm 11 and a half.
Yeah. And military almost 19. And so.
Wait, hold on. So what? So being in the military, or working with the military, not like doing comedy for the military.
Yeah, I seldom do comedy for the military because I'm still in. I ain't trying to mess up that check yet. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, brother.
Now, when I retire, book me wherever they want. So it's like I'm always kind of like here, and here's where I got to give you more flowers, man, because I do remember we all remember 2020. We all remember quarantine, and it's just like, what do we talk about? And me, I was so angry. I shut down. And because I wear the uniform, I do monitor what I say sometimes, because I fear of the wrong type of engagement. You know what I mean? Or the consequences and repercussions of just things I might say. So that's why I'm grateful for a lot of the things that you do talk about, because sometimes I can't necessarily get into it. So I'm like sitting there scrolling, and then I got to think, let's go back to 2020. Let's go back to 2021, where people are just going through a lot of different things. I was stationed in multiple places. I lived in Utah for a lot of my military career. So naturally, I didn't get that black engagement, and so I was living vicariously through you and other accounts. And so that's why seeing you do what you do, like the Black Pop quiz was shit. That was a check-in for me. I loved it, because I was like, shit, brother, like, you didn't forgot what that is? I was like, shit, and so I love it. I mean, yes, I know the Black Pop quiz is for everybody, but it also reminded me, I'm like, yo, you still it's so weird to like finally talk to you, because there are times where you just felt like the cousin your favorite cousin at the cookout. Like you have to be the favorite cousin at the cookout.
Man, I appreciate that, man. And people invite me to their cookouts to do the game, which is wild as hell. I was like, all right, let's get it. So, I ain't gonna lie. I still get booked to this day. And it started in 2020. I still get booked to this day because I did a game during quarantine, and that's what they want. Like, I just did a booking because I was like, oh, we're doing a step show, and he does the Black Ball quiz. We would love for him to come and do it. I was like, all right, cool. They wrote the check. It is what it is. I just got booked. I'm doing something in December. Same thing. I was like, yeah, we need a host that could do games and stuff. And they said this, that you have a game show. I was like, yo, so you know how the game is. It's up and down. You
That's wild, man.
Or whatever. So, I mean, don't get it twisted. It ain't where I would like it to be at. You know what I'm saying? Because we're looking at millions. That's what we want. We want millions, So it was to the point where I stopped what I was doing, because I was like, if this is blowing me up, I need to go ahead and make this a television show.
Yes.
Or because I was like, coming out with cards is not enough, and I didn't even have time to do the cards, but I knew I wanted to do a board game. Like imagine Monopoly but black, right? And or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And then I was like, you know what? Let's do, in game, like, damn near a Jumanji style board game where you're not just playing, you in the bitch. Like, you have to do this. It's telling you what to do.
Oh, okay.
So for instance, I was going to shoot like 10 episodes, right? And we will ask a couple questions. And then I grew up on the show on Nickelodeon. It was called The Mind Bender or whatnot.
Yeah.
And Global Guts and, Gladiator. I think that's what it was. Gladiator USA. And
I remember Global Guts.
And Double Dare. All these game shows, right? And so it involved, questions, but it also involved an activity. So I was like, yo, man, so if we were doing it like, let's say I wanted to do a Houston episode of Black Pop Quiz. Well, back in the day in Houston, we used to get, starch, and we used to crease the hell out of our pants, right?
You talking about back in Houston? This shit we did. Come on, man. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm from Inglewood,
bro.
Come on.
Yo, especially like the Latinos out there with the Cortez. Y'all didn't play the Dickies. Y'all didn't play around.
Yes. Like the Cortez, the official Nike street shoe of crime. The official crime street shoe. Yeah, no robbery is successful without a Nike Cortez.
You see what I'm saying? And in Louisiana, they called them the G Knights. And in Houston, I was in middle school. We used to call them, that's the gang shoes. You get what I'm saying? The gang shoes, because a lot of Hispanic gang, they would wear the Cortez or whatever. So yeah, but we used to. It was like a thing in Houston. Starch down. We call them starchy Archies, to where you could take your pants off and it'll still stand up. We had a technique of how we had to make the crease so hard you could knock on it and it would sound like a door.
Yes.
So I was like, if we were doing the Ayo, how do you start? You have 20 minutes to start your pants right now. Go. And whoever's can stay up the longest, who can stay up, won that mission. You get where I'm going with this? So it's like, those are the things I would have, I want to do. So I was like, I'm gonna shoot 10 episodes, flying a couple friends, do this and that, and let's make it a thing. And even if not, we have social media. Social media, people don't know, social media is bigger right now than network TV, because you get, it's bigger.
It's instantaneous.
Exactly. You get it right then and there where you want. You get to interact with the star I can't interact with somebody on BT right now. I can't interact with, but the internet allows you to, let me put it this way. People go from the internet to TV. Mm-hmm. There are people who are making more money. I know people with hit records that don't make as much money as this musician who's not in the mainstream, but because they have a huge following on YouTube, they are killing these artists that are literally in radio play all the time.
Well, yeah, and it happens in the comedy world too. Trust me, I have been outbooked by people that are very popular on TikTok, and I have no problem with that.
Bro,
I used to, but I was like, dude, they figured out the game. You know
exactly. And that's one thing about me. I never hate. I'm always going to ask a question. Hey, how I do this? Yeah. How I do that? And I learned the game. Because that's one thing, you can't hate the player. You got to hate how, like, if you're going to be mad at somebody, be mad at the people who are supporting it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I love, like, I grew up on heavyweight, I grew up on everything, basically. I love
Who's your favorite boxers?
Out the gate, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali.
Come on.
Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson, because, like, that's how I see when I do comedy. I'm trying to knock you the fuck out quickly. You get what I'm saying? Like that, he was a show. That was his spectacle. His spectacle wasn't just being the show. It was, I'm coming in, and people don't even know he was a defensive fighter, but he also was super strong and super fast. So he was on some stuff like, I'm gonna catch you at an angle, knock you the fuck out immediately. And that was a spectacle because it was always like, we can't even blink at a Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying?
You can't.
And so I loved him. The way he took boxing so serious, and he was just legit. I still to this day watch his old fights because I love it. And then Muhammad Ali, because
they're the best.
Muhammad Ali was the ultimate showman,
yeah.
And and people don't know Muhammad Ali actually had a right hand. He actually was strong. He could throw a power punch, but it's like he also danced. He added style to the game. He was so different, and he
made a lot of stuff look effortless.
Oh my! Oh, and you don't appreciate it until you try to do it, and you be like,
right?
Oh, and the way
I love that you talk about Tyson's defense because a lot of people think he was just all offense. No, he even told you he would. In the infamous rant, my style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. Bro, impregnable.
Customato was a defensively sound.
Customato deserves every Catskill, New York. Oh my God.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? So I only brought that up because we're talking about social media and they're taking spaces. So now sometimes I look at boxing like they're making a joke out of it, right? Because Jake Paul is just fighting whoever he wants. And then I started thinking about it. It reminded me, and this is bars right here for those that are listening that didn't know. It's never been about talent. It's always been about who could put asses in seats.
Come on.
When we finally truly accept that, we will be okay with a lot of things. Because that's the one reason why when I found that out, that's why I hated on social media comedians back. This is the early days. This is back in 2012 and 2013, right? And when I say I hate, I was like, they're not even really that good. They just, they all right. But first of all, there's no such thing as a person who's not funny. It's just a person who hasn't found their audience yet. And that's just a fact. I know plenty of people being in this game, living in New York, flying back and forth in Cali and shit like that. I knew that you may not think they're funny, but there's a whole group of people on another side of the world that
Absolutely.
Is this person speaks for me. And they blow up and they blow up hard. But
it's crazy to watch. It's crazy where you find your audience. And
it's humbling too, because now now you're reminded you could never be an asshole to nobody. Right? Now you're reminded.
Say that again.
Now you're reminded you can never be an asshole to nobody, because there's one person. Fucking, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. So my homeboy in Houston, his name is Chinedu, just like all Nigerians' names are Chinedus. A lot of people hated on him, and a lot of people say he wasn't funny. He was this, he was that, and he's blowing up on his YouTube and his Facebook. Guess what happens? He ends up being the guy who those same people who hated on, they're asking him for advice now. They're asking him to open up for his shows. All of that. Hey, can I open up for you? I remember I knew I was on the wrong end of the spectrum of hating on social media famous comedians when I heard a dude say that. A nigga said, man, you put me on his show before him, I'll squash him. I was like, but it's his show.
Yeah.
Why don't you get your own show, bring out this many people to this venue, and then you just do your own thing? And now I realized, I was like, you mad because he has something that you don't have. The opportunities, the fame, the money, the love, the support, the network. That's what you mad at. And that right there, I was like, oh, let me try to get on social media and figure it out. So this has been going on for me, I think I was playing with it from 12 and 13 or whatever, doing memes and things like that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until one of my friends with social media that was killing it. He said, hey, this is how much I make when I do this, that. I could command this amount of. I said, word? So
yes.
2014, I was like, hey, yo, let's get on it. And then that was.
Seen those checks. They're nice.
After speaking to him, that was the first time I got, I know this is, to most people, this is not a thing, right? To most people, this doesn't matter. But to comedians, it does. That was my first $1,000 check back in 2014. And it was more than $1,000.
That shit'll like, okay, for context, I got to pause you for a second because
I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Yeah.
No. This is my show, and my job is to let you talk, man. But like, I gotta like help people understand because like when people ask like, oh, how much you get paid for comedy, and it's like you have to understand. Sometimes you are getting $25 a set, and sometimes you may be if you're really down bad, you just there for food, you know.
And they don't even give you a drink either.
Yeah, so you might be getting $25 a set, $50 a set, maybe $100 for an entire weekend, 4 shows for and that's just as a host. We're talking some clubs don't even pay the feature or the guest spot. You just go up, you're just there for time, and hopefully they see you and they trust you to come back and maybe let you headline on an off night, which is like a Thursday or Sunday or a Tuesday. And you probably get maybe 300 to 500 if you're lucky.
That's on the greater end. That's on the greater end. Like they just booking you just to close out the show because there's a difference between headlining and closing out the show.
Come on now, huge
headlining. Let's talk about closing out the show. Is just going last.
Yes,
headlining is literally what the word means. When they talk about he's in the headlines, literally look at what a headline is. It is the most talked about sentence and the biggest and boldest sentence. You are selling that article or that link or whatever it is. You are selling this show. You are the headline, the main act. It don't matter if you went first or last. You're the reason why everybody bought the tickets.
Right.
That's what a headliner is. That's what headliner is.
It could be the headliner, Canice 100K, or it could be Canice 100K and friends. That both, you know what I'm saying? That is your show.
Exactly. But I mean, generally the headliner goes last or whatever. We get it.
Yes.
But it's the person who sold this bitch, the reason why you here. You get what I'm saying? That's literally where that word comes from. So I literally thought, like, just putting this together, it makes proper sense. We need to, especially comedians, if you are listening to this, prioritize your fan base. Prioritize building your fan base. Because I'm going to tell you this. Otherwise, we just waiting in line. And everybody don't get to go through line all the time, no matter how long you wait. You know what I'm saying? We all won't get our girls trip like Tiffany Haddish. And my Tiffany Haddish has been building. She was bound to blow up regardless. She was always in movies, television, writing scripts. She was all online. She was killing it. But Girls Trip was the one that like literally was like, oh, she's a star. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with Lil Rel. Get Out literally he said since that movie he has not auditioned for a role. They just send it to him and say, here's who we want you to play. And I was like, yo. So it's like, and Lil Rel has been working. Lil Rel was supposed to be on the reboot of In Living Color. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? People don't know that. Like, because
he's one of my favorites.
I forgot to finish that. He's like, when it comes to the new batch of favorites, it's him. It's also Carlos Miller. Of course, I said Trevor Noah.
Carlos is an absolute beast. Brian Simpson's another one.
There's 2 guys for me. And I'm talking about one, no surprise. The only surprise is in the last 5 years, it's just been inevitable. Dave Chappelle.
Of course.
Exactly, right? It's no surprise, but it took me this long to be like, he's not quitting. And he's not, the nigga's a genius. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then the last one is this. He's also from Houston. He had probably one of the best specials that come out this year. His name is Ali Sadiq. I call him the greatest storyteller ever.
Ever. If you have not watched Ali Sadiq,
it's called.
You got to watch him.
First of all, anything he does. Anything, real talk. But his special,
greatest storyteller.
Yo, and he makes you fall into the story. You know what
Mexicans got on boots.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one. If you don't look up that, go look up that. Go look up that. Now, what's the? How did I just forget the name of the special? Ali gonna kill me. I can't post it.
Please, if nothing, if you listen to this podcast, please watch Mexicans Got on Boots.
Yeah, just search that up. It's always going to be there.
One of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
It's called Domino Effect, and watch out, he putting out a Domino Effect too. So, but yes, So him and I think I also said Carlos Miller. He is just He's one of those people that are just funny to where it's like it don't matter what he say, it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy him. But yes, but back to it, right? So comedians, we do need to prioritize. Everybody doesn't get their girls trip, their get out film, their that one thing that broke them. But hey, you give yourself control or more control by building it yourself, right? So instead of waiting in line to audition for something, are we writing scripts and trying to pitch them? Are we putting out our own sketches? Matter of fact, are we building a fan base, right? Because some things get picked up because they just built a huge. The reason why we have Issa Rae having 9-figure deals now is because she was on YouTube, and that's when YouTube money was really YouTube money. She went and she built that off there. And here go the thing: she didn't have the best cameras, the best audio, the best makeup artist, stylist on the thing. No, she was like, I got the best script I could do right now. Let's get to it. And she did it, and it worked. And you think these networks come to you because, what you did was so great. No. Her awkward black girl don't hold a candle to nothing she did on HBO with Insecure. It don't hold a candle to nothing she did. It built an audience. You get what I'm saying? Every now and then, some things are so good that people are like, yo, we got to have this. Yeah. But here go the thing. Building the audience is what always gets you paid. The Rock is not the greatest actor in the world, but he's going to have the greatest audience come to see him, at the box office every single time. The Rock and Kevin Hart, they have a thing where, and I think I heard Kevin Hart say this too, he was like, I don't do no movies that I don't have a global release on, an international release on. He's not thinking just here. He's like, hey, yo, I got to go do a premiere in China. I got to go do a premiere in Nigeria. I got to do a premiere. You get what I'm saying? Like, I got to do a premiere every single place. Like, everything I'm doing is big. And these guys get all these opportunities because they know people are coming to see them. So what can we do to put the ball in our own hands? That's why I love Country Wayne. Country Wayne's
another great one. Desi Banks, all them cats.
Specifically, Country Wayne gets more views on his page, on his Facebook page, than viewers on network TV for certain shows. You know what I'm saying? All from the internet. People hate
and it's a whole ass adventure with him.
People hate DJ Academics, but he has more viewers on his live stream. Hell, views on his videos than entire radio companies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's wild to think. So it's like, what are we doing to build our audience? And that's why DJ Academics gets paid more than rappers he blogs about. That has to suck.
Damn.
That has to suck. So that's why I'm like, yo, even to the point where I'm like, so it's like, how are we creating an impact throughout, these people? So that's why I focused on social media. I said, let me build because the way we got raised in comedy, it was always, stay on stage, keep writing, stay on stage. When they need to be a little bit more specific and add something to it. Keep writing scripts or keep writing, things that you're going to put out. Either pitch, and if they don't get picked up, go put it out yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Say that again.
If it doesn't get picked up, go and put it out yourself. Ain't nothing wasted. Because guess what? I learned something about the industry. The industry don't know what the fuck is going to blow up. So it's always
just people guessing.
Exactly. They're human just like us. And who was that comedian that said they pitched this to everybody, nobody wanted it, they put it on YouTube? It was either Mark Norman or Andrew Schultz, and I'm leaning to Schultz.
Basically Schultz, but Norman is another one though.
Yes, pitch it to everybody.
He put out his own shit because it's actually both of them.
They put it out, nobody wanted it, then they did it, it picked up, and then guess what? Now networks are like, all right, now guess what? And now I have leverage because
of course
what you was probably going to pay me on as the minimum wage for this. Now I have the leverage. Exactly.
It costs triple.
Or sometimes it's an extra zero you got to put in there.
Yeah.
And so now what we doing? So that's why I love, like, I take advantage of the opportunity of social media by building a fan base. That's why I here's another thing I grew up on. Wrestling, right?
Wrestling.
So,
let's go. Wrestling.
That's why I make catchphrases a lot. Because who was the most electrifying man in sports entertainment? It was The Rock.
Yeah.
It was The Rock. And who's another guy? Stone Cold. I can't think of too many guys I loved and grew up on in wrestling that didn't always have something that united everybody who loved them. You know what I'm saying?
Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass.
What? Another beer? What? Tequila? What? Another beer? Another brew? Like this and that.
What?
You know what I'm saying? It was the finally The Rock has all of that. And I was like, yo, what that does is create a group of people. Even when they were a heel, right? Mm-hmm. It still made people enjoy them. So,
right. And I think that's great, man, because it's just like what you're saying is everyone has their place. Everyone has their role in comedy. And I mean, some of us are going to be like more role players. Some of us are going to be the star. It's just figuring out but don't be afraid to try and figure out where you fit. And I think that's what is attributing to your success right now and will continue to sustain you is that you are unafraid and unapologetic to see where you fit. And I love that. I love seeing that.
And I know the power of a niche audience, right? Like I remember when I first started, people were like, oh, you only do like Nigerian events or you only do, Nigerian comedy. I was like, no, I do everything, but they didn't pay attention to it. Then when I blew up doing I used to always make a Dallas joke in every video I did, like a joke about Dallas.
Yeah.
And then it was like, he just talks about Dallas women. And then it was, he only talks about Greeks fraternities. Then it was, he only says, my thing is this. It's all, he only talks about a black quiz or whatever. He only for black people. And I'd be like, even if I was, cool, because you could take a niche audience and make millions of dollars.
Off that niche audience.
That's just how it works. And so when
it's funny that you mentioned The Rock, because every time I think of The Rock, the first thing that pops up is that goddamn verse that he did on Tech Nine shit. And did you watch the video for that shit? It's about drive. It's about
power. It's about hunger. It's about
bro. In the video, he takes a swig of his own tequila, that Terramana, which I love, which I fuck with.
Is it good?
It's fine. Okay. It's fine.
I'm a tequila drinker.
I am as well. And he takes a swig of that shit and then spits his verse, and I'm like, damn. And I was like, and it's like whether you fuck with the verse or you don't, you have to respect the whole gamesmanship of it, the marketing of it, the fact that he's like, it's not for everybody, but he checked it out. I checked it out, and he promoted his tequila.
Come on, business.
So, that's what I'm saying. So that's the thing is and Tech Nine is a niche artist as well. That's a whole nother conversation.
And he is successful. There used to be a time when people like Tech Nine and who's the other cat? There used to be a time in hip hop, especially, or just music in general, where the people who are the most lyrical, the people who are the most talented with the pen, were the people in the back. Yeah. Writing for somebody else.
Absolutely. Ghostwriters.
Never getting
Royce 5'9".
That's who I was talking about. Never getting their just due, never getting their shine. And now we live in a world where a woman named Money Long, who's written hits for huge artists, the Rihannas, the this, the that, for years, and she comes out with a song earlier this year called Hours and Hours. And literally, and she posted it on social media, and people are like, I love this song. And then they're like, I love you. Then they're like, wait, hold on. You're the person who did all. Yo, now that love is just strong. And she already had this catalog because she's been building her base. And so now you give yourself more luck when you build your base. It makes none of this shit go to waste. So that's the thing, and that's what we got to do, because I'm tired of seeing people with great ideas, great projects, but nobody sees it. I told my friend that, I said, what's the point of me coming out with something and nobody appreciates it? Nobody likes it. Nobody viewed it. I was like, I got to build an audience because I don't want none of these ideas to go to waste. I made them to add value to people's lives, and I want them to take that in. And the best way for me to do it is to get them to love me. I don't care if it's two motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Get them to love me so that I can give them things, because that's all I need. Like one person to be like, hey, I believe, oh, for real? Cool. I got this coming up, that. And I'm just doing it because you want people to appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You want people to enjoy your stuff. You don't want it to go to waste. And I've seen too many, because what they say, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around, did they really hear? And it's like, yo, did it really make a sound? And I think that's something we got to think about. Like, are we making a sound? So it's like, hey, yo, get out here. You're an artist. Get out here. And here go the thing. There's nothing wrong with trying. Just be consistent. Which is, I don't mean to switch gears here, but only because I thought.
It's fine. I need to hear this myself. I'm not consistent at all.
But you had a post that you made a while ago that I commented on. I was like, this was right on time for me. Or whatever. It was about being consistent and not being stagnant, not procrastinating. If I'm not mistaken. You just randomly made a post and it was right on time. I was like, you know what? He right. And that was like the straw that broke the monkey's back for me, or the camel's back for me. Or not to where I was like, I need to find some way to put out content for people in which a way that they'll consume from me, which led me to the special that I'm doing December 22nd.
Let's get into it.
Oh man, yeah. We still talking about some shit, but yes, we'll talk about it. Yeah, so I'm doing a comedy special December 22nd. I'm sorry. It's going to be on my YouTube through a private link. It's pay-per-view. You know, it's live stream. It's live stream. So basically, you go to canicelive.com. Go to canicelive.com, CANICELIVE.com, right? So you go to canicelive.com, you buy the ticket. Right now, the tickets are only $4.99. They're going up next week. For $4.99, you can purchase a ticket to watch it live. You can even put in the chat, go crazy about it or whatever. And it's called the event is called I Might Get Canceled, because I feel like it was on brand. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that I'm gonna purposely be like totally rude and belligerent, but I'm a guy who put, I could be clean, right? I did a 10-minute special with Funny Media Group, right? Yeah. Absolutely no cuss word, no nothing. Just went straight to, like, we're professionals. Yeah. We know how to be clean. Hell, Corey Holcomb can still do a TV slide. He's another one on my list.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's another one where you're like, oh my God.
Because he's so good.
Corey Holcomb is a fucking monster.
Yo, because he's so good at, I respect Justin. There's a difference. I respect Justin, but I love Corey Holcomb when it comes to stand-up. Like, I love to laugh at him. Reason being, well, two reasons. Number one, he would have been one of those guys that, like, let's say, you know, later on in life he passes away. We would have been like, damn, RIP to Corey Holcomb. If he passes away today, you know, knock on wood, God forbid. But if he passes away, like, you know, today, guess what will happen? We will hail him as a king of comedy. Because he has solidified himself as a legend, and he has built a fan base with the 5150, which wouldn't allow his comedic genius to go to waste. His fans love him. You get what I'm saying? They love him. They watch him all the time. They keep him paid. He don't even need Hollywood because he stay at the crib and make the same money. He Gucci. That's why he's unfiltered. That's why he can say what he wants, because how you gonna cancel a nigga my friend used to always say, you can cancel a person out of Hollywood. You can't cancel them out of stand-up comedy.
Yeah. He's
like, what's his name will never be on TV again. Bill Cosby will never be on TV again, but guess what? He can still
Somebody
sell out
gonna pay.
shows. He can still sell out a tour if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. So it's like, he could do whatever and live however because he built this audience. And then not only that, like just the genius of his art. The only difference between him and Anthony Jeselnik, is that Anthony Jeselnik says things that make you go, oh man, make you groan a little bit, make you cringe a little bit. But Corey Holcomb, he says he can say those same things but still make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? Literally. And it has nothing to do with just how they wrote the joke. It's really just their delivery. If you notice, when most of the time when Corey Holcomb delivers his most group, I'm not gonna lie. I've been peeping it so much that I'm like, oh, when I have a particular joke like this is how I'm going to. This is what I could, what inspired me to even go there.
I see.
Normally, when he says a joke that is a little bit like, hey, yo, you're not supposed to say it, he normally says it with a smile. That's it. So he'd be like,
Jeselnik does the same.
I don't know, because I've been seeing him. He'll have a straight face. Oh, okay.
Earlier Jeselnik.
Okay.
I've worked with the man, and what I admire about him is the same thing. He does it, and Jeselnik off stage is super nice.
Oh, everybody says that, and they say he's funnier off stage than he is on stage.
Absolutely,
everybody,
because he does this thing where he slithers across the stage.
Yeah, everything about it is whatchamacallit. It's like it's meant to make you go, but people come there to hear the shit that make them do this. Oh, that's a win for him.
Yeah.
So imagine, take both of these guys, specifically Jeselnik. Imagine what they had to do to become great at that. Imagine them going to open mics.
So many rewrites.
Bro, just to get like that. That's a house laugh. It's so different. And he was alone in that lane. You got to respect him. And he can still go and be the head writer for the Fallon Show. For the Tonight Show. That's why I said I have to respect him. He can still keep it clean. He is so talented. So, but one thing I noticed about what's his name is just a small delivery where he just be like, oh, y'all don't know about me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is Corey Holcomb has a great way of saying what we all been thinking. He's the voice that's just like, yep, And
that's a niche audience.
Yeah.
People don't know that.
Because not everybody's going to get that.
That's a niche audience. And I was looking at my brand. I was like, nigga, why not? I was like, nigga, why not? Let's get to it. I was looking at my brand because I make a lot of jokes about everything, right? I do have certain, rules of AO, never talk about this on stage. That.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of wild shit I want to say. And most of the time, I always say this. It still has to be funny. It has to be funny first.
Absolutely.
I think that's what Damon Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans, they used to be his rule when he was talking to his brothers. It don't matter what we say, but it has to be funny first.
It has to be funny first. I like that.
So, because some people go on there and just want to say some wild ass shit just to say. But he's like, yo, you can say it, but it still has to be, the priority is that it's funny or whatever. And so I was like, yo, I got a lot of wild shit that I say. And I was like, let's put it all in here. You know what I'm saying? And I also have a set. They just going to enjoy it. So I was like, yo, let's get them there. Like, let's you got to look at your brand and what it is and what people fuck with you with. And then we get there. And so that's what I'm in love with, like with this thing. And the genius idea about it is everybody I told about this, they was like, nigga, why you ain't been doing this? And I'm mad at myself because this is something I should have been did 2 years ago during quarantine.
Come on.
I ain't gonna lie.
But I mean,
I keep myself in the foot about it, but we here now. Because I was
if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Come
absolutely. On. So, but we here now, and my goal is 5,000 tickets. We selling 5,000 tickets. I'm putting it out there because my thing is so. Hey, yo, man, if y'all out there, go buy a ticket. They only $4.99 right now. They only $4.99.
$5.
And here go the thing. Exactly, you got 5 on it. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
look,
you've been to Wendy's.
Because exactly, you know what I'm saying. And here go the thing. And you say, but when you go to what you call it. But hey, in fact, I would say this. One of the reasons that brought me into doing this is because I'm a guy that what I was doing on social media, I got kicked off Twitter. This is before Elon. Niggas be like, you got kicked off Twitter? Oh, You work for him?
That's actually that needs to be in your bio. I kicked off Twitter before Elon.
Like before Elon came, I was kicked off Twitter about a year and a half ago, right? And I've been more. I ain't gonna lie. I've been more. I've had more production and progress in my life since kicked off Twitter. But yeah, because I used to. Sometimes I wouldn't post because I'd be on Twitter just going in, having fun, and real dope. But got kicked off Twitter. I'm gonna put that in my bio. I appreciate that. Got kicked off Twitter. TikTok. Some videos they would take all the way down and say, "Hey, yo, you're on the verge of being suspended now." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like heavily watched on there. I even had like a person
called Good Problems.
Yeah,
though.
A person. Here goes another one. Another angel in my corner. There's this Delta who was a fan of my work. She works with the diversity department. She works with the diversity department of TikTok in the United States or whatever. So she used to always look out for me when it came to like certain certain videos getting taken out. She would just pass it to the pipeline to the AO. That wasn't what it was. Things like that, but it wasn't too much she could do. Some things like Canice. Now come on now. So again, shout out to Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and shout out to her. Shout out to Black women, period. But even then, right? So I was getting warnings. I got demonetized off of Instagram early this year, like twice. Facebook is doing that too now, or whatever. And I ain't even got my first check from Facebook yet. And they said, "Oh, well, this account is demonetized, but you got." It's just wild. I've been shadow banned on YouTube before, like all of this. So I'm like, yo, like clearly I might get canceled, nigga. So my thing is this: if I'm going to release this and I might get canceled, let's do it in a safe way where I don't. So we're gonna do it the pay-per-view way. You get what I'm saying? It all made sense, and you
control it.
And not only that, like the game is changing. We saw Blockbuster, another thing we grew up on. Blockbuster get taken down by Netflix. And
now Netflix just come out with some shit.
You get what I'm saying?
All Blockbuster.
That's wild. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we seen how Blockbuster was taken down by Netflix, right?
Yes.
And we've also been in the game long enough to where we saw comedy going from like comedy specials going from HBO, and then Comedy Central got in the mix, to going straight to Netflix.
Yep. That's
the biggest, like a couple years back, they said Netflix was the biggest platform for stand-up comedy and stand-up comedy specials. Meanwhile, there's a whole network called Comedy Central. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild. And HBO couldn't even compete with how much money they were putting in the specials. It's tough to turn down. I read the whole report. It's tough to do. It's tough to go to Comedy Central, when Netflix is like, we'll give you $20 million a special, and we'll sign you to 3 right now. Jerry Seinfeld, Chappelle, Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's they was giving out big budgets. I think even in there they said like it said something about for an hour special, their minimum was like $500,000. I was like, what? In this report or whatever. So I was like, dang. So they basically outdid the competition. And now look what we got going on. Schultz doing millions of views, like 5 million views, almost 7 million views off his last special on YouTube. Mark Norman having over 5 million off his YouTube special he did during quarantine. Ali Sadiq dropped Domino Effect on YouTube, and that has like 6 million views on YouTube. Like, it's wild. And these are hour specials. These aren't, a 60-second video that you can consume, rewatch this and that. No, they stuck through a whole hour watching this. And so we saw the change of everything. It's not the same as what it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So I'm asking myself as a person that, like, I literally had to challenge myself, why am I holding on to old feats from the past? I love people. So one of my biggest goals is to do a big tour. I always want to tour. But I was like, okay, I even tried during quarantine. I did small rooms that that where they had to. You remember during COVID we had these rooms where they had to, what's it called? I don't even remember what's it called. What you call it, space you? I can't even remember.
Oh yeah,
That's
socially distanced.
Socially distanced room, and they had
remember that shit?
Yeah, they had it had to be like 30% or 40%.
Yeah, 30% capacity.
There we go. So I took advantage of that because I was like, there's some markets where I don't have 100 people that want to come see me live. I probably have 40, 50 people. So I was like, I found a cheap venue that holds that many and also, under their capacity limits, right, to where we can social distance. And I went and did it, and it looked so dope because it looked like a private, exclusive, invite-only event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm big on like the marketing and the optics of how. So I'm big on that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm learning. I'm learning from you, man.
And that's how I promoted and marketed. Hey, yo, look, we're doing, invite-only comedy show, whatever. So.
Why are you talking like that? Why are you talking all intimately when you market? You talk as intimate.
It's my secret. So I'm sitting.
You talking real saucy every time.
So this is the secret I did. You know what I'm saying?
We only got like 30 people that could get up in this joint. So if you're trying to come through, please come to my comedy special. We keeping it socially distanced. We got to stay 6 feet apart, but that don't mean 6 feet I might get in your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
So and the reason why I do this is because there's going to be somebody that's listening that's going to be like, oh, I didn't know that, or I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So I'm an older brother of two, right? I'm the second oldest, but I got two young. So we always got to pay. We always got to pave and smoothing out the road for the next people that's coming. So we saw this whole thing flip. So I used to hold on to wanting to go on tour so bad, and I was looking, at how much the budget would cost to actually do this yourself, right? And I was like, because some places you could just ask them to be booked on an off night, and they'll give you the venue for a certain, either for a low fee or they'll do a door deal with you, and you try to figure it out, blah blah. But it was so tough or whatever, trying to do every single thing and then flying into this city and that city, especially looking at your analytics and knowing where's your biggest markets, like the biggest markets for Canice, like these are the ones you need to go to. It starts dropping off. Like after a while, but it's crazy because, like, for instance, right, in Rochester, New York, I got 10 roaring fanatics of me.
Rochester, I fuck with Rochester. That's where my pops is from.
But I'm talking about roaring fans, right?
That's wild.
It's not feasible for me to just go out there and do a show. You know what I'm saying? Do a show and the venue, pay for the venue, flight, hotel, of course, food, openers, the videographer, photographers. Because if you don't have that, you didn't do an event, and it won't market the next one, right? So I'm thinking about all that, and even possibly a DJ, depending, whatever the case is. I was just thinking about all that. It's not feasible to do that, and then because my thing is this: I don't like doing something once. Let's do it a lot. You see what I'm saying? So let's do. If I can't do 10 at one time, if I can't do 10 cities at one time. Is it, or 15 at one time? Like, what is we doing here? And I'm looking at the numbers that way, right? So I was like, it's not feasible. But here I am looking like, okay, I got thousands of people in Texas that love me, right? I got hundreds in Atlanta. I got hundreds in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hundreds in D.C. New York, I got hundreds. You get what I'm saying? All these pockets and places, I got hundreds of fans.
Come to Boston.
Or
so I need you back.
Yo, yeah, I need to go back out there, low key.
Let's talk off mic. We'll talk about it. I got some things for you.
Oh, appreciate it. And I was like, yo, I got this over here, that over here. Then it starts getting sporadic, like 20, 30 over there, whatever the case is. I'm only saying that to say this. I was like, why not? If it's not feasible for me to do it right now, why am I taking them off social media to come see me? Why don't I meet them where they're at on social media? Let's do this special to where everybody, because every time I post that I'm finna be somewhere, right? I did a show in Boston, right, for Boston University, for the African Student Organization out there.
Yep.
And when I post that show, people in my DMs or in the comments will say, when you coming to such and such? Why you never do something here? You need to be over here. How come I can't see you in Tuscaloosa? Why I can't see you in Mississippi? Why I can't see you in Alabama? When you gonna come to Nevada? Like, you get that all the time. And now I'm like, how about this? We all get to see me live.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And I didn't want to pre-record it and then do it. No.
Yeah.
I want you to, because I said there's nothing better than a live show.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, let's do it live. I'm getting the proper equipment and proper staff to do this the best way, to look the best quality. I want you to fall into the jokes, through your screen. And I'm meeting you where you met me. Here. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And of course it's smart. It works. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, why wasn't I been doing this? And I'm like, between me and you, I might just keep doing this until it just keeps getting bigger to the point where I'm like, all right, now I got to go see y'all. If I know I can sell out 5,000 tickets in this city, let's go.
Let's go.
You get what I'm saying? So, but right now where it's still building, yo, we're not going to sit and wait. Let's put y'all all in one room. We're going to put us all in one room. And so that's how I was like, yo, I got to do this. There's too much out here. And then, then not only that, you know how the game works. You record something, submit it to Sirius. They put it through the thing, get some spins, make a little money or whatever. And we got too much. My other friend in comedy from LA named Chinadu, because I said there's a million Chinadus. My other friend in LA named Chinadu, who does comedy, super huge. He was one of the producers, and he was one of the producers and actors in the special for Yvonne Orji or whatever.
Yes,
so
right.
Yes. So
she just had her second special.
Yeah, exactly, and he was like the executive producer for like the sketches they did, building up to it, and also within it or whatever. So shout out to Chindu Yunaka or whatever. So Chindu used to always say, "Hey, Canice, you got a lot of material, bro. You just gotta put it on wax, so it's out your head. You can just move on to the next album.
Yeah,
you just gotta keep doing it.
Absolutely. And it'll be such a cleansing experience for you. I did the same thing in August, not with the pay-per-view event, but I put my money where my mouth is and basically had a crew that I trust and helped me construct something. And we're still editing it now in post, but I mean, like, to get all of that out, now I go up pretty fresh. You know what I mean? Like, all right, what are we getting into? You know what I mean? And it's such a great feeling because I know whatever I've done, it is done. Mm-hmm. And it's in the tank, and I'm going to release it. But like I'm excited for you to just kind of have that experience for yourself, and that way you could put it out there. So wait, CaniceLive.com, correct? Is that where
CaniceLive.com? Yes, that is spelled CaniceLive.com. So yes, Canice. I know it look weird, but it's spelled like can ice. Okay, all right. Look, I ain't named myself a parent.
I never thought of it. Actually, I'm familiar with that name, so it's like it was no problem.
Yeah, but I know I have a cousin named, because they Nigerian too, or no?
No.
Okay, I was about to say.
I just heard the name, and the person might have been Nigerian. I don't know.
Yeah, because I only know the only other two Canices I know are Nigerians. It's so weird. I asked my parents, what does it mean? There was like, I don't know. It just came from, I heard I knew somebody who was responsible named Canice, so I named you after it. Like, that's how, like.
Someone that was responsible.
That is so Nigerian. Oh, this is a responsible boy. What's your name? Canice? Okay. I would name myself Canice so he could be responsible. Like, that's just how Nigerians
so
are.
He could be responsible.
Yeah, they're trying to manifest the traits in that person.
Trait, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm glad his name wasn't Chris, because there's other Chris's that could have been ain't shit, and they would have been manifested.
Ain't shit, yeah.
So, but yeah, when I looked it up, it's really from, like, Irish descent and Irish Catholicism. So there's a whole bunch of St. Canice's churches.
That's right, and I think that's where I've heard it. So, and there's also there's a great comedian named Canice Mobley, but hers is spelled Ke Nice. She's great. She's originally from Boston. I had a chick. So that's why I was familiar with the name. When I was
Get out of
okay.
here. Shout out to my namesake. We got to do a Canice and Canice show. Like next time I'm out
That'd be
there.
funny as hell. I ain't gonna lie, because y'all got two different styles.
Come see Canice. Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, man,
I'll link y'all up with her.
On the cool. So I like what you said though when you were like just getting it all out, because we're supposed to die empty, as Todd Henry said in his
Die
book.
empty. I like
we're
that.
supposed to die empty or whatever. They said the what did they say? The place, because my brother always says, he used to always say, every idea is $1 billion idea. He used to always say that. No. If you think it's a good idea, it's $1 billion idea. You just got to get it there. That's it. You just got to actually execute or whatever. Because think about this. What if we never thought like that, right? How would the person who made the selfie stick probably got laughed at. Probably like, what do you, nobody is going to get this. Who the fuck cares about $1 billion company?
They're not responsible.
Bro, the lady who made Spanx.
Yeah.
Somebody would probably, why would women need to compress their whole body and drain the fat into something like what? And literally, we making 9 figures, 10 figures. You get what I'm saying? Her checks looking like phone numbers for real with the area code.
Exactly. We're too young to remember this, but you ever heard of Pet Rocks?
No.
There was a time, I think it was the 70s, where some dude sold pet rocks. He took regular ass rocks, put googly eyes on them, and sold them. And this man made millions of dollars. Pet rocks.
It's 3 ideas I know that if I was in the room when somebody pitched it, I'd been like, this shit would never work. Number 1, Crocs, because I always thought Crocs were ugly. And to this day, everybody says they're the most comfortable thing you can put your feet in. And
my Nigerian friend swears up and down that Crocs he loves them. Comes into work before he... Yep.
There's nobody who likes Crocs. They only love Crocs. And I haven't met one person who hates Crocs. You get what I'm saying? So I would have passed out on that $1 billion idea. Here's 2 other ones that I'm like, yo, first of all, you had to be white to even come up with this. Because imagine if a black person said, hey, yo, look, I want to start a cab business, but instead of me providing you with a cab, you're going to use your own car. He's been like,
oh, hell no.
Exactly. Or if I would say,
my car?
Or if I would say, hey, yo, look, I got this hotel business, right? But instead of having a building, we just going to use your house.
Nah.
They'd be like, these niggas, what is these niggas planning? What type of business is this?
My house?
Exactly. So Airbnb,
they gonna touch my thermostat?
And look where they're at now. Like, it's a part of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's to the point where, one of them is like, when I say like Google, that their name is now a verb. Google it, or Uber a car, or I'm about to Uber. Yeah. I'm about to Uber there. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna tweet that. You know what I'm saying?
You get exactly. And so that's how big they were. So all these ideas are rich. They're $1 billion ideas, right? We just got to get them there. And they say the place where the wealthiest place ever in the world is at the cemetery. This is what Todd Henry was saying, because it's where a whole bunch of people a lot of people don't get all their ideas out. And now they have just the greatest ideas. Just, they take it to the grave. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. It's there now. It's over with now. And so it's like, we want to die empty with no more ideas. I want to be able to there was a time like in 2017 to 18. I flew to Canada. I did a show in Toronto. And I did a show in Toronto, right? I forgot what I was doing on my phone. My phone glitches. I write everything in my notes. I have over 7,000 notes in my phone, right? My phone glitches, deletes all my notes. So I'm like, all my jokes, everything. I was like, I ain't got nothing else ever, right? And then I saw something where they was talking about Drake lost his BlackBerry, or his BlackBerry broke or something. with all his raps.
Yeah.
And then he just went crazy after that. And I just started reading that book, Die Empty by Todd Henry. I was like, oh, as soon as it goes in my notes, it's going on social media or it's going on stage.
Let's go.
I got to be. So I went through a period in time, like for a year and a half, where I was that's where I really broke out on social media, especially Instagram, because I was like, as soon as it comes up here, it's going straight to y'all. You need boom, 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 boom. I was just dropping them back to back or whatever. That whole year and a half, I went crazy. And so now, fast forward, I would not. It's like when you're saying, it feels refreshing when you get on stage after you empty it out. After you empty it out, it's like, I want that feeling because I got like 4, maybe 5 hours of material floating through my head. But it's crazy at one. At one I could only remember like an hour and a half. I've only flowed through like an hour and a half. And sometimes I kind of like chop it up. I can only remember this 45 minutes where and then somebody says something in the crowd and boom, I just remember a whole hour of other things. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, but if we just put it out, you know what I'm saying? And
that's the worst that could happen.
Yeah. And it's also digital real estate.
Digital real estate. Come on.
Because
man, like I gotta hand it to you. You know what I mean? Like I love that we got a chance to talk about this shit today because it's just like it's you've been consistent. Mm-hmm. This is the first episode coming back from my I had like a month hiatus. Yeah. So like just hearing this is the exact pep talk that I need. So it's just like I love it. Thank you. I mean, like, seriously, we got to get out of here, but I do want to talk to you off mic. I want to talk to you off mic for a minute, but man, like plug anything and everything before we get out of here.
Hey guys, if you want to watch a 10-minute special of mine, I did it with Funny Media Group. Just type in Canice 100K, taxes and fees. You'll find it there, or Funny Media Group. But right now you can come see me and I might get canceled. December 22nd. That's a Thursday, right before Christmas. It will be my pay-per-view live stream special. It's going down. You can get tickets at canicelive.com. All right. Now, look, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'll be talking about stuff y'all afraid to say. You know, I'll be talking about some stuff that I shouldn't be talking about. But we're going to have a wonderful, glorious time all the way through. So make sure you get your tickets right now while they're $4.99. It ain't going to be like that the whole time. And hey, if you feel in the spirit, buy 2 or 3. Let's get it there. I'm going to get to 5,000 tickets. It just makes sense. Like, I'm sorry, brother. Back to you, Jay. It makes sense. If I have over 300,000 followers on all social media platforms, right? Well, minus a few because Twitter. I'm no longer there. You know, I'm still blaming on Elon. But if I have all of that, just asking for less than 1% of them. You know, promoting it and putting it out, doing ads and being focused on it or not. Just asking for 5,000, expecting 5,000. It don't hurt. You get what I'm saying? And it's accessible through the phone. It just makes sense. So we doing 5,000, y'all. Let's get it. Because I want to be able a year from now show my numbers with me doing this a couple times, like a couple years from now, and I'm sitting in front of Netflix and I just have leverage like, let's do a $50 million deal for just one special. I want to be able to do that. Let's talk about it. So, yes. So, it is what it is. CaniceLive.com. Follow me on all social media platforms at Canice100K. I appreciate y'all for real. So,
dude, I appreciate you stopping by. And I mean, like, man, without further ado, please check out my man's and make sure you get those damn tickets December 22nd. $5. $5. Get it before the price go up.
Yep. It's gonna go up.
Black Friday special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you don't show up, you're racist.
How about that? That's okay. There we go. I'm doing it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it till Black Friday. Right after Black Friday, it's done. It's done. The price is going up. Yesterday's price.
Price is going up. Know your worth and add taxes.
Amen.
Taxes and
so
fees.
It's $4.90. There we go. Exactly. It's $4.99 right now. But all the way up until Black Friday. But White Saturday, it's done.
I didn't know there was a White Saturday. I feel, you know what? Black Friday, White Saturday. There has to be a Mexican Sunday.
Matter of fact, it's Alabaster Saturday and Cortez Sundays. That's how we doing it. Black Friday,
Cortez Sunday.
Alabaster Saturdays, and Cortez Sundays. There we go.
I love it. All right, man. Well, shit. Here we go. My man, check out my man's Canice 100K. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad you made it, brother. All right.
Appreciate it.
Holy shit.